Okay, here we are at the Ontime Studios with David Rhys-Jones and our second edition of the weekly current affairs. So, David, what a week. Carlton won for a change. That's always pleasant, I suppose, especially for you.
Well, look, it was fantastic too. I didn't get to see the match. I was actually up in Echuca doing a sportsman's night with great Collingwood player Peter Dacos, and so we missed the game, but gee, the highlight reel on Sunday morning was fantastic. Mark of the year, maybe mark of the century so far, and goal of the year from Eddie Betts. But up in Echuca, the hometown of Andrew Walker, was sensational, and to be up there and watch it. Actually, they had the iPhones out when I got the message through that he'd taken the mark of the day or mark of the year, and created a lot of excitement up there in Echuca, his hometown.
Tell me about Dakes. How is Dakes?
Yeah, the great man. He's doing very well for himself, and spoke very well at the function. And yeah, we had to get back. We actually drove straight back from Echuca, which we got back about 2:30 in the morning because he had some commitments with his kids at junior footy on Sunday morning. But overall, it was a great night, and we just lacked a couple of roadies on the way home. That was all.
Tell me about Essendon. Are the wheels fallen off, or where are they at?
Look, I don't think the wheels are really on and to start with. So they had a bit of hype early on with the new coaching team there with Bowen Thompson and James Hurd, obviously. But look, they obviously were missing some of their key players on the weekend. But look, I think it's a long way to go, and I think if they want to get somewhere next year, they really need to clean out their list. They've got some pretty ordinary players on it at the moment.
Will they make the 8, David? That's the question.
Essendon, no, won't make the 8. I don't think they can, the way they're playing football at the moment. And but the top 4, that's going to be the big thing. Obviously, Collingwood and Geelong are sitting there. Hawthorn in 3rd place. Look like they'll probably hold it, but the real excitement is going to be that 4th spot, West Coast or Carlton. And I think the big game is going to be the Carlton-Hawthorn match in a few weeks' time, and I think that'll decide whether Carlton finishes in the top 4. West Coast got a pretty easy run in and probably should win all their matches coming into the finals.
Is this week's result good enough to keep Ratton his job? That's the question on everyone's lips, David. Clearly, the people's thoughts out there is that Ratton is just not a good coach anyway, and I'm sure you'd concur with that. So just tell us, where's he at?
No, I think he's done a fantastic job this year. The whole coaching panel really has been terrific. But I think the club said at the start of the year that Brett Ratton needs to win some finals to keep his job at Carlton, and I think that's fair enough. And so we're not going to know until September whether he's done enough as yet, and let's hope they can win a few finals, and more importantly, win that big one at the end of the year. Surprise a few people. Well,
that would be a bloody surprise. So clearly, if they finish 4th, they're going to lose the first final. So would that save his job, do you think?
No, I don't think so, because he's got to win some finals. They've bowed out over the last 2 years in elimination finals, and this year, obviously, and look, Carlton's playing good football at the moment, and I couldn't see any reason why they wouldn't win at least one final come September.
There's some rumours out there that there may be a clean swap, Neil Craig for Brett Ratton.
I doubt whether that's happening. I think if Rats isn't there next year, I think the silver-haired bloke, reigning premiership coach, and probably win 2 in a row this year, but I think he might be on the cards, and he'd be the first bloke I'd be looking at if Brett Ratton's not there next year. So Mick Moldhouse would be my first choice.
You obviously haven't heard he's still contracted to Collingwood, David, so that is certainly
contracts
not going
are only a bit of paper, and obviously we can deal with those sort of things.
Neil Craig gone?
Yeah, I think Neil Craig's time's finished at Adelaide. The efforts by the team in a number of games this year just haven't been up to standard, and I think while he's done a reasonable job with the Crows over the time, I think it's time for some fresh blood there, and his time's definitely up though. The players are not performing for him.
Michael Voss gone?
No, Michael Voss, I think he'll stay on. He look, he made a big blue last year and tried to recruit the players he needed to win a premiership. They've really got to go back to the drawing board and start looking at the young kids and bringing the youth through the team. And he hasn't had much luck with injuries, and obviously Jonathan Brown over the last couple of years has had some major injuries. So it's one of those things. But Vossi, I believe, will still be a very good coach with the right list.
Bomber Harvey gone.
Bomber Harvey, ex-Bomber Harvey. Look, his job will be up for some discussion, I suppose, at the end of the year if they don't win enough games to establish themselves in the finals, because it'll mean that they've taken a step backwards, and I don't think the people in Western Australia will be too happy with that. And they've got a pretty good list of players though, and I still think they might just sneak in, and if they do, they might cause some damage.
Okay. Big Pav gone.
Big Pav, I didn't see the match, so I can't tell you, but he has been a sensational player for the Fremantle team, a great inspirational leader, and I think he'd have 1 or 2 more years left. I've seen him play some good games this year, and he cops a pretty heavy tag week in, week out, so I will wait and see on that one.
A lot of talk that he's leaving Freo, David.
Well, if he's leaving Freo, I'd love to see him at Carlton. I think running around centre half forward at Carlton would be pretty good. We could always utilise him, and then we could have Jared Waite running around in different positions, either back or on a wing, or pinch hitting down forward. But no, I think Pav's a great player. He's been a great servant of the game, and let's hope his career is not coming to an end, because I love watching him play.
Does that mean Vizzy needs another environmental consultant like Juddy?
Well, we can always use more environmental people down at, especially with this carbon tax coming. We just want to do our bit for the environment. We don't, the 17th Cup would be handy as well, but obviously the environment comes first, doesn't it?
Okay, well that's it from the Ontime Group. Now, David, do you have any closing words of wisdom?
Well, no, anyone who's having any issues out there with their transport can give the Ontime Group a call, 1300 80 84 88, and speak to me personally if you want, and we'll come out and help you with your transport needs.
Okay, thanks very much, David. We'll see you next week.
Great to be here again.